think Canadians in general understand how important a financial plan is, but it's shocking how few Canadians actually have plans in place. And I think there's culpability on both sides. I think, with other software I've used, the whole questionnaire, the input was just burdensome. It's just clients felt overwhelmed and, they just say, well, look, you have my investments, you know the numbers, but they weren't getting into the details. And then even as an advisor, people underestimate how much time goes into implementing the plan, like putting all the information in. So I think it was just something clients assume, okay, my advisor knows what he's doing, we're going to be fine. But I don't think the plans are being properly done. And I think it's probably a little bit to blame on both the advisors and the clients. But with Conquest, it's a very clean format. I find the clients, aren't burdened by it. I actually love the feature that if they are existing clients, we can, just actually constantly update the information automatically, so I don't have to re-input or re-key in all their investments with us. So it's really changed the conversation in the fact it isn't something now that we say, hey, we should do a plan. Now we tell clients, I cannot do business with you until we have a plan in place. So everything starts with the plan. I have a really great success story. I have two clients. They both worked at the same government office. Neither of them liked their jobs. They both felt it was a very toxic workplace, but they're very concerned about their retirement. So they were existing clients. At just a glance, I thought, it looks like they should be okay. But we did the proper, went through all the questionnaires, inputted all the information. And I was very excited to have them come back to the office and say, you can actually retire now. So the real power of this was with the engagement of the plan, the clients could sit there and actually see the numbers. They weren't just taking my word for it, that they went from a situation where they didn't know if they could retire to knowing that they could retire. And in this case, neither of them retired at that point in time. They continued working for a couple more years. But what happened for them is they felt more emboldened. They felt that they were comfortable. So they felt that they could say no to things they didn't feel right about doing. In the husband's situation, he ended up getting 3 more raises. In the wife's situation, she ended up getting a raise. So even though they knew they could walk away from the job, they started, they're so excited to be engaged in the plan that they could say, what happens to our numbers now if we invest another 50,000? So that was a real fun success story. So they went from loathing their jobs to actually getting promoted because they had the confidence in the fact that they could, sort of stand up to their bosses because they didn't need their jobs anymore. It was something they were doing to, spend their time. I like how interactive the plan is. And I like that we're able to get all of the clients' data into the plan. And the reason I mention that is I've used other software in the past where there might not be a specific area where we could put information that's important to the client into the plan. So it was kind of forcing information in. I find that we can be as detailed as we need to be. We have a lot of business owners and they want to know, fair market value. And, so there's a lot of complicated information that we can get into the plan in a very efficient and effective manner. I really like the way it presents. It's very clear, it's visually pleasing, and right from the engagement, it gets the clients involved as well too. So it's different if you just drop off information and say, okay, what's my plan say? We have the clients working on the questionnaire, they get back to us, we input most of it, then we sit down with the clients again, we clarify, we go through it with them, and it's just a very clear format for them to understand. But what this does is it gets the clients involved as well too. So instead of just saying, yep, things look great, they want to know why it looks great and they can see why it looks great. Some clients, they just want a sort of a high level look. So we're able to present like that. Then we have some clients, they want to get right down into the minutia. They want to know, where did these numbers come from? And that's the real powerful part of Conquest. It allows us to do that and still not overcomplicating it. It's as an advisor, I don't want to be sitting there getting confused by our own numbers. We can clearly see where the numbers came from and why they're part of the plan. I absolutely would. And I've referenced this a few times, but I've used different planning software over the year. Some originally were free and provided by fund companies. Some I paid for, and for a multitude of reasons, it was burdensome. With Conquest, once again, the ease of use, but the technology behind it, it's wonderful, and I would highly recommend advisors use this software. There's numerous features that I find, wonderful. I really love the current live time tax information. We've had software in the past that, a year or two outdated. So that's really unique, really powerful. I love the fact that we can incorporate some artificial intelligence as well, and people can feel threatened by that. I don't at all. I think it's the more information that we have as advisors, then we can decipher, what's important to share with the clients and what's just, noise for them. My number one feature I really enjoy is SAM. And I spoke to a lot of my peers across the country, and it was interesting. Some of the advisors saying, well, I don't want that. I've been planning for a long time. I know all of this. And to me, I think that's hubris. I don't think anyone knows everything. And I think is a good advisor should be willing to learn and should be learning every day. So, we get to, whether it's a shortfall in the plan, Sam makes a suggestion, well, it's still the advisor's choice to either say, yes, I like this, let's explore this, or no, I'm not interested. And by having all these technologies, we have this clean, concise presentation for our clients. And the clients are really engaged in that. And I would say the number one thing about Conquest that I admire, when the clients are fully engaged and they understand the plan, it really saves them from all the noise. Bears, bulls, fees, longevity, that all disappears. Those are all questions that need to be answered, but that isn't what's driving them. They want to make sure, are we on target? How does the plan look? And that's the wonderful part of this, is we go in and yes, we're on target, or no, we're not. Here's some changes we need to make. I would say don't glance at it. I think as advisors, this day and age, with compliance and with our businesses and the industry, things are changing and there's lots of changes happening. So this could be, someone, they're not doing themselves any favors. They just go, yeah, I looked at it. Don't glance at it. Take the time, set aside some time, look at the program, dig into the program, use the tools provided by Conquest, spend some time on their, the online tutorials and training, because the more you learn, the more you realize this plan's phenomenal. So, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your clients. Set some time aside, and the more you know about this, the more you'll realize that this is a necessary tool.